Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Commander Action. I'm Anthony, and I hope you're all having a great day. So, I wanted to say thank you to everyone who subscribed and viewed and liked our first video that just came out recently. It really does mean a lot. This is more of a passion project for myself and Mason, and we're really just happy to start bringing you guys great content. Eventually, we're going to bring in voices from the actual players playing, but for right now, as we're playing in our local card shop, we're just going to be doing this voiceover. Again, I really appreciate everything you guys have done, and you have really made this really entertaining for us. So, with the thank yous out of the way and all that, if you guys want to follow us, go ahead and follow us on YouTube. We're going to start a Facebook page, we're going to start a Twitter page, and we're also going to start an Instagram page. So, look out for that in the future. Anyway, let's get started with the game, and I'm going to talk about the decks real quick, and then we'll get started with the actual gameplay. Alrighty, so I'm going to be starting off this game. I am playing Orvar, the All form. My goal is to play a bunch of cantrips, copy my creatures and lands, and just strictly outvalue my opponent by drawing cards. Donnie is playing Ruric Thar today. It's a stack Gruul piece where he's just going to try to outvalue us with Ruric Thar's ability. Jenkins is playing Callaphe, which is a budget deck. He's just going to go for big swings and kills with Callaphe with enchantments. And Mason is playing his bird tribal deck with Esior and Ishai. What his goal is try to outvalue us on the board with just small creatures and swing in with flying. I start us off by playing an island and passing the turn to Donnie. Donnie plays a Stomping Ground, shocking it in to play an Elvish Mystic. Jenkins then plays an island and plays a Jeweled Amulet. Mason plays a Flooded Strand and cracks it for a Prairie Stream. I play an island and pass the turn to Donnie. Donnie plays a forest, then taps the Elvish Mystic for a Utopia Sprawl for green, enchanting his Stomping Ground. He then taps 3 and plays a Manglehorn. The ETB trigger targets the Jeweled Amulet and then passes the turn. Jenkins plays a Mystic Sanctuary, followed by a Soul Ring. The issue is, we should remember that Manglehorn makes sure things enter tapped, so the Soul Ring enters tapped. Mason then plays an island, followed by a tapped Azorius Signet. I then play an island and pass the turn. Donnie plays a Wooded Foothills, cracks it for a forest, and plays a Caustic Caterpillar. Jenkins then plays an island, followed by Callaphe. On his end step, Donnie activates Caustic Caterpillar's ability, destroying the Azorius Signet. Mason plays a Cavern of Souls, naming birds. I then play an island, pay 4, and play Orvar. Donnie casts Cavern of Flowers, and then swings at Mason with Manglehorn for 2. He then adds 4 mana and attempts to cast Ruric Thar. Mason just pretty much says no and passes the turn. Jenkins plays an island, followed by an Altar of the Pantheon. He then casts a Fire Shrieker. Mason, missing a land drop, taps 2 and plays his commander Esior. I then play an island and swing Orvar at Donnie for 3. I then pass the turn. Donnie creates 5 green mana with Carpet of Flowers and casts Oran Frostfang. He then decides to swing 3 at me using Manglehorn and Elvish Mystic, triggering Oran Frostfang twice, drawing him 2 cards. He then plays a Prowling Serpentpod. On his end step, I cast an Argent Mutation targeting one of my islands, making a copy of it. I then draw a card. Jenkins plays a Tectonic Edge, casts an Inquisitor's Flail, and then equips Fire Shrieker onto Callaphe. He then casts Levitation and swings at Donnie for 10 commander damage. On his end step, I cast Jinx, targeting one of my islands, creating a copy of an island, and drawing a card on Mason's untap. Mason plays a Sword of Light and Shadow, and sadly still missing land drop, passes the turn. I play an island, and then tap 4 to play a Sower of Temptation. I steal Orn Frostfang from Donnie, and then swing Orvar at Jenkins for 3. Since I deal 3 damage to Jenkins, I get to draw a card thanks to Orn Frostfang. I then pass the turn to Donnie. Donnie adds 8 red mana, thanks to Carpet Flowers, casting Ruric Thar. He then plays an Arcane Signet, losing 6 life. I then attempt to cast Chilling Trap, targeting my Sower of Temptation, making a copy of it. I have the target enter, trying to steal Ruric Thar. Donnie then plays Heroic Intervention to stop me from stealing Ruric Thar. He loses 6 due to Ruric Thar's trigger, and then we pass the turn to Jenkins. Jenkins plays a Frantic Search, floating 3 blue mana, and then losing 6 life. He then sacrifices Tectonic Edge to destroy Donnie's Stomping Ground. He then attempts to equip Inquisitor's Flail, where Donnie brings out a Nature's Claim to stop it. Mason untaps, missing a land drop again, casts Judge's Familiar, and then equips Sword of Light and Shadow to Esior. He then swings 3 at me, and me feeling bad, I agree to take it. I then, on his end step, cast Ghostly Flicker, targeting a Sower and one of my lands. I take Ruric Thar when the Sower copy enters, and then when the original Sower enters, I then retake Orn Frostfang. I untap, play a Mystic Sanctuary, putting Chilling Trap on top of my library. I then move to combat, swinging everything at Donnie, and Donnie blocks enough to kill my Orvar, but I deal enough damage to kill him, drawing 4 cards thanks to Orn Frostfang. I then recast Orvar, and pass the turn. I then cast Cloak of Feathers, targeting my Sower of Temptation, drawing a card, making a copy of Sower of Temptation, and stealing Callaphe. Jenkins untaps, and cracks his Mind Stone to draw a card. He then casts the Mana Vault. He then uses all of his mana to play Kindred Discovery, naming birds. He then goes to combat, and swings 4 at Mason, gaining 3 life, drawing 2 cards, and plays a Lonely Sandbar. On his end step, I then try to cast Chilling Trap, targeting Sower of Temptation, trying to steal his Judge's Familiar. He sacks Judge's Familiar, making me pay 1 more for Chilling Trap, which I do to draw a card. I then play an Amphin Mutineer, exiling Esior. I then pay 4 to play a Master of Waves, creating 15 Wave Elementals. I then move to combat and swing Callaphe at Jenkins, which deals him 30 commander damage. I then swing 10 in the air at Mason. Mason plays an island. He then casts Stunt Double, copying Amphin Mutineer, exiling my Master of Waves. On my turn, I play Sakashima, making a copy of Orvar, and then I target Sower of Temptation with a Twitch. I then steal both of Mason's creatures, and move to combat, dealing 20 damage to him. Mason untaps, and says he's done, and passes the turn.
Game over.
That was an absolutely amazing game in my opinion. The card of the game was Sower of Temptation, which just allowed me to steal commanders, steal draw engines, and then also create a flying presence which just held the board up altogether. Again, I hope you guys really enjoyed this game. It was a lot of fun. Orvar is currently my favorite deck to play, and I'm actually going to be doing a deck tech on it next week. So please keep an eye on for that. And for always, do you pay the 1?